Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our first of two live broadcasts. And today and tomorrow, we're going to be talking about closing sales. Closing sales, talking to people and discovering as quickly as you can who you really want to talk to and who you don't. Now, Facebook and LinkedIn both are giving you unprecedented opportunities to talk to people. For those of you that are building a network marketing business, both Facebook and LinkedIn are dreams come true because it gives you simple, easy, direct access to people. And the thing is, you can't talk to everybody. You can't talk to everybody. Yesterday, during one of our sessions, we had my afternoon session. There was a tornado water spout, which is a tornado over the water that developed just east of where I live, and while we were doing a webinar. And what happened was, I grabbed it off of YouTube, I posted it, and you'll notice 11 people liked it. One person made a comment, 2 people shared it. That gave me 11 opportunities to talk to people. 11 opportunities. And the bottom line is, do I want to talk to everybody? No. It depends on who these people were. I could literally click on this, and now I've got a list. Now here's somebody that I was not connected to that sent me a connection request. And here's somebody that I wasn't connected to at all who also responded to it. So you're going to hear from people that you know. You're going to hear from people that maybe you want to know. And it's up to you to decide, is this someone that you want to talk to? At the end of the day, it's all about who you talk to. You don't have time to talk to everyone. Now, in addition to be able to communicate with people that you know or that respond to what you do, you can literally go over and look at people that you're connected to and you can respond to something that they do. All right? The opportunities that you have to have a conversation with people, like I said, is unprecedented in the history of network marketing. And the thing is, the same thing is true on LinkedIn as Facebook. We go over to LinkedIn, log into it, and you can see the actions and activity of people. So Bob commented on a broadcast by Tim Sales. And what I could do is I could either react and respond to this, something he did, something that he liked. I could go over on his page. I could look at his activity and respond to something like that. There is no shortage of opportunities for you to talk to people. And so today we're going to demonstrate how simple this process can really be. Now, the secret to closing more sales is to show your prospects why they need what you have to offer. And in our last boot camp, we made reference to a short video on YouTube. YouTube is a phenomenal source of information. And a little short clip from The Wolf of Wall Street, Sell Me the Pen. And it is so appropriate for anybody in network marketing, because it's not only important for you to identify who needs what you have. The next step is, in some circumstances, you use your company tools, you use your product tools to show them the business, and then sometimes you have to show them why they need it. Why they need it. And that, my friends, involves sales. And so over the years, we've developed scripts that make it easy, simple for you, takes all the pain away from sales. And there are 5 proven sales techniques that work. They work so well that they take all the pain, all the frustration, all the agony out of selling. The first thing that you need to be aware of is that rookie salespeople try to sell too early. People get into your business and they are immediately taught, just walk up to somebody and ask them, Bill, if I could show you a way to make an extra $1,000 a week working part-time. Now, I know this may or may not be of interest to you, but I really just wanted you to know about it. Would you take a look? And if it's okay, if it's not for you, but would you like to take a look? That is so bad. It is so wrong. And I tell my students all the time, never, ever, ever. I know it's being taught by a lot of old-time established network marketers. A lot of leaders have used it for years. And that was before the social media really came into its own. That's something you might say to somebody that you didn't know. You go to a gym, you go to a mall, you're walking around, you see a stranger, you go up to them and, you know, hey, if I could show you a way to make an extra $1,000 a week working part-time from home, and I know this may or may not be of interest to you, and if it's okay, if it's not, but would you like to see it? Well, following that strategy comes another sales cliche. You got to go through 100 no's to get a yes. Go for no. Every time you get a no, you're going to be closer to getting a yes. That is baloney. Why go for no? How about going for yes? You go for yes on a social network because you know in advance enough about the person on the other end to know, is this somebody that needs what you have? Is this somebody that traditionally would be interested in what you have? You know ahead of time. You could discover their needs before you decide you even want to talk to them. And if you start talking to them by asking a few casual questions, you're going to discover whether or not you want to continue to talk to them. So before you ever talk to anybody about your business and your opportunity, find out what they need. 5 questions, casual questions, will tell you whether or not the person that you're talking to needs what you're promoting. Professional salespeople start by asking questions. Now, the beautiful thing about being on the internet, on Facebook or LinkedIn, is that you know so much about the other person, but equally as important, they know so much about you. And when you create your profile and you put it up there correctly, you can dazzle people with your professionalism. You can impress them. And then it's just a matter of conversation until you discover, do they need it? Do they want it? And at that point in time, you can bring it up. Don't waste time on people who aren't suitable. And so when we log into a couple of accounts this morning, the first thing we look at is, who are you talking to? Is there an obvious need? Is there a clear-cut synergy between you and the other person? Does that person need what you have? And if they don't need it, if it isn't clear-cut, why talk to them when there are so many people out there that clearly need it? And finally, once you know what they want, then you can start selling, and not before. And as you learn more about them, there are some questions that you absolutely have to ask. We've broken them out for you in our social networking chatting strategies with case studies. And our latest training, how to catch a corporate whale and bring them into your business. Because there are professionals out there, people that have worked for large companies for years, and their companies have closed. They are earnestly looking for new ways to earn a living. Earnestly looking for ways to generate income, okay? So what we're going to do this morning is, for those of you that were in boot camp, let's take a look at, we're going to open up some of, we're going to jump into some of your accounts. We're going to see exactly how you're doing. And okay. Well, first, let's take a look at, I'm going to log out of my account. And we're going to log into Patricia. Now, LinkedIn is copying Facebook, adding new Facebook features all the time. So we're going to jump into the message area. And we're going to look at William. Okay. So William is a personal trainer, it appears. And a nutritionist. Okay? And so right off the bat, we know that most personal trainers have been affected by COVID-19. Okay? Been involved in fitness, sports, nutrition, personal training. All right? Worked for this company for 2.5 years. Crunch Fitness, fitness director. Fitness director. All right, so he was in the Marines. And he got out of the Marines in 2003. So from 2003 to 2014, it doesn't show what he did. All right. But the bottom line is we know now what he does. Now, anybody that has been in fitness, personal training for 6 years knows all about network marketing. Knows all about it. Let's look at the conversation. All right, so you reached out to him on Monday. And look, so you sent this to him at 1:37. He responded a minute later. A minute later. Everybody's on a mobile phone. How have you been affected? Now, quite a number of questionable months. All right. These are copy and paste text messages that you can modify depending upon the person that you're talking to. Okay? So you're asking him, how is he being affected by the coronavirus? And he's coming back, indeed, quite a number of questionable months. But when you look at his profile, what you're trying to do is you're trying to establish a solid relationship with the person on the other end. All right? Now, I know I give you the first message, give you the second message, send the first. When they accept you, you send the second. So, you reached out to him a little later. Now, we know we're going to ask him about the coronavirus. We know that. But let me give you a little clue, a little extra tip. Anytime you come across anyone that has served in the military, anytime, you want to write back to them, hey, I want to thank them for their military service. All right? We could have done that. And remember, we want to ask a question. So he got out of the military 2003. And there's roughly 11 years. Well, we have a question, what prompted you to become a personal trainer? All right. How have you been affected? Quite a number of questionable months. Okay. How has he been affected? He doesn't answer. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to say, that's for sure. So we'll say here, I see Marines for 5 years. Okay? Now, what question could we ask? What did you do the service before fitness evolution? All right. Now it's early, so we could copy this. Pop that in there. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the GIF. And we're going to use moving images. Okay. A bit. Now notice this is a different color. It's not picking that up. Quite a number of questionable months. So you want to learn about him. But we know we're talking to somebody that clearly has a need. Right? I'm going to pop out of your account. And we're going to jump into Vivian's account. And again, we're going to pop over here to messages. Lisa. Retail leader with a proven track record. Open to work. So you know, she's someone that's looking for a job. This is one of LinkedIn's newest feature. We come down here, experienced leader. So retail sales. So you sent her this message in the morning. She accepted you in the afternoon. Okay. Okay. So everybody was out of work in the end of June. Okay. So she likes molding other leaders. And you're talking to an eager socializer. You ask somebody what they do, they're going to come back and they're going to ask you what you do. Now, these are conversations that you could have over and over and over and over again. 10 of these a day, 20 of these a day, 30 of these a day. You keep the conversation going as long as you feel they would be a good candidate for your business. You're looking for people that like to develop and mold leaders. You're looking for people in retail that like to train. Okay. Boy, she really wanted to talk to you. Okay. So now she says, how about you? Now she's picking this up off your profile. You want to learn Swedish. So you want to make short reference to that. One line. Yeah, I'm planning on learning Swedish. One line. One. Yeah, now. And then, as for me, I've been teaching music for so many years. And then, the line about starting an internet business, which has exploded since the coronavirus because people want to, make money from home. And then what you want to do is we want to ask her a question. So you asked her what prompted her to get into retail sales. Okay, she told you. Now, I know she told you some of the things that I've gotten to develop and mold other leaders. The second question is, and let's pop over here. Go to the flip book. Again, we're looking for whales, people with large circles of influence. We're going to find whales in all kinds of categories. Asking the right questions is the secret to closing more sales. So you ask her, what prompted you to get into your profession? Then the next question is going to be, what did you enjoy most about your job? Now, I know she talked about it a little. You're going to give her an opportunity to continue. She'll summarize what she did before. And then the next question is, well, what other positions would you consider in your next job? The answer to these three questions are going to be very, very important. But we know we're talking to someone clearly that has a need. All right, we're going to pop over here. Jump into Antoinette's account. And we're going to take a look at Tammy. Now look at all the people, that she has to talk to. All right, so you're talking to somebody that's working in a store. She's open to work. She works for Steingart. She's worked there for 14 years, and Steingart is closing. Okay. So again, what's the first question? Now, he says around mid-October. Now, we know what prompted you to get into your profession. However, around mid-October, have to go through the liquidation process. Now, if she could find a job next week, she's worked for the store for 15 years. So we're talking about mid-October, August, we're mid-August, September, that's 60 days. So let's ask her a question. No. So she's still working, okay? That's not too far away. Start. Remember, the answers to your questions, now keep in mind, while she's working, closing down the store, her focus is going to be there, but she could also start something part-time, a couple hours. Then when she comes back and tells you the answer here, what are we going to do? We're going to come back over here. What prompted you to get into retail? What did you enjoy most about your job? But again, we're talking to somebody that clearly need what you have. Let's pop over here and let's jump into Daniel's account. We're going to pop over here to messages. And we're going to look at Renee. All right, so Renee is an entrepreneur. And you can see the little green donut means she's hooked up to LinkedIn on her mobile phone. All right, now okay, now we're looking at this first and foremost, and there's no clear indicator that there's no obvious need. There's no obvious need. We come down here and we look, 2 days of team training in Chicago. So I would guess okay, so it's clear that she's in some kind of network marketing opportunity. Okay. What do you do? So they're all coming back. Everybody's coming over to LinkedIn. So she jumped into LinkedIn when I started with my first company. What was that company? Now she's building her second company. I work with a top-rated global health and wellness distribution company promoting their brand and product. Tell me about you. Okay. Now, what you want to know here is what network marketing company she's working with. Okay, so she's working with Vasayo. Okay, right here. Right here. Right here is where you stop. Okay? She's been with Vasayo for 25 months. Now she says, are you with a network marketing company? You needed to answer. Right here, you needed to say, yes, I am. Tell her the name of your company. And why I've been with 3 different companies. All right, now, again, it's possible that she could, because of your circumstance, I mean, every network marketer needs some kind of identity theft service. So it's possible you could get her as a customer. Okay. Now she's saying, I also work with a company called Five Rings. All right, now it's kind of interesting that Renee of all trades. Okay. Now, notice she said up here, she said, what did she say? She said up here, and a lot of people do very well. I will probably look into it one of these days. Now, child care, personal catering, pet care, and other odd things people need. Renee of all trades. Let's go to Google Images. Jack of all trades, master of none. Okay, let's take a look at this one. See what this one is. Well, the truth is, saying of the day. Jack of all trades, possible interpretation, suggesting that a person who can do many different types of work is probably not very good at any of them. Okay, I'll take this one. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, so let's come back over here. Now, we said you have to be one of the most entrepreneurial women. Ah. Not gonna. Okay. Now, most of the people that I've met got into a network marketing company or most people get into a network marketing company so most people, and we're going to start by saying this, I'm curious. In fact, let's do that. We're going to use our little GIF up here. Oops. Let's, here it is right here. Now this isn't the one I want. That's, well, yeah, we could do that. Question. Most of the people that I've met in network marketing joined a company so they can make enough residual income to quit their full-time jobs and gain time freedom to do like to do. Why you be jumping into multiple businesses multiple network marketing businesses, as well as doing now, she told you, people in Vasayo, I know people that made a lot of money in now it was Mona V, not Mona Vista. Now you don't know them, I do, so it's okay. In Vasayo, why would you be jumping into multiple network marketing companies as well as need okay? Now, we're going to send this over. And now, we're going to come over here. Copy this. Hey, friend. So Renee of all trades, Jack or Renee. What is your ultimate goal? Okay, now really, let me just say this, okay? You already know the answer, okay? You already know the answer. Okay? You already know the answer, okay? Now, see, I was going to tell you up here, you know, why she's building these other businesses. Now, you're still looking at her. The reason you're talking to her is because she could be a customer. Remember we talked yesterday about, well, you could get customers. Identity theft. Okay? But I'll probably look into that one of these days. So right here, and now she's doing this. I love being an entrepreneur. Well, right, clearly if she was making enough money, why would she be doing these other things? Well, the next question would be, why? Pet care? Catering? Personal assistance? Are you kidding me? Hey, listen, maybe she's ADD and she can't focus. Okay? So the bottom line is you get the answer to this question, and only other thing you could do, look at her profile. And, okay, so she's been on here a long time. Let's look at contact information. So you can't see her email address. She could certainly use some LinkedIn training. But the bottom line for this is if you really think about it, she's so scattered. Why continue to talk to her? Get the answer to that other question and then move on to other people. You don't have time. You really don't have time for that. Right? The more selective you are about who you talk to, the more you're going to close. The more people you're going to sell to. Let me flip back over here. And our last session of boot camp was on Tuesday night. Let's see if they got the flip book up. Okay, so it looks like let's come down here and see if we've got the okay, so it doesn't look like they've loaded up the, let's see if we've got the, okay, so they're still working on the final boot camp session on closing the sale. I want to remind you, you still have access to the July boot camp and in closing the sale. The information is very, very similar. So until we get the new one up, you certainly have access to this. Also want to remind all of you that registration is now open for the September boot camp. So for those of you that want to get started right away, you could jump in and watch the August session on creating your page, connecting with people, communicating with them, and jump into closing the sale. The more selective you are about who you're talking to, the more successful you're going to be. And let's see, I'm nice to see Todd. I mean, Todd, everybody wants to know how's Todd doing it. He's been doing this, connecting with 30 people a day, making appointments, talking to people. As soon as he discovers someone is not a candidate for his business, boom, he's talking to somebody else. You're all head down the same road. You all have that same opportunity. And you're absolutely not going for no. You're going for yes. You're going for yes. And we're not going to do that line, oh, this may or may not be for you. If it was going to cost you $50 every time you told somebody about your business, you'd be a lot more selective about who you talk to. You'd qualify them a lot more. Let me see. Todd's here. Let me see. I want to find out how he did yesterday.
Good morning, Max.
Hey, good morning, Todd. So how did you do yesterday? You said you had a couple of appointments?
Well, I had 3 appointments set for yesterday. Only went 1 for 3. The first one, I mean, what you're teaching right here just sets it up perfect. The second one, the guy was, I don't know. It just didn't work as well as planned. And the third gal, for some reason, flaked out on the appointments. So basically, I mean, what you're saying here is so true in that, rookie salespeople, they go for it way too early. And that, and that's one of the things that I think has really been helping me here. It's like, and it's one of the things that I'm trying to teach to the people on my team. It's like, I mean, this reach out, hey, it's okay if you don't do it. But even when we use what you're teaching us, it's so easy for new people to just, when somebody says, hey, I need a job or whatever, it's like, bam, it's like, I mean, it's like, oh, I've got this bit, it's like, no, don't, it's like, I mean, so working with my team, I'm trying to teach exactly what it is that you're teaching here on the class this morning.
Well, listen, when you think about it, if one flaked out, so your closing ratio is 50%. One at
The thing is, it's like, I mean, what's awesome, and I was talking to my wife about this last night. I'm working with and dealing with so many people and we don't want to, feel like we're being, I mean, if we look like we're desperate, then we're salesy. Nobody wants to be sold a thing, So I keep myself a, Excel spreadsheet, so that gal that flaked out on me yesterday, it'll be a week, 10 days from now, it's like, and I'll send them your little reconnect message with the emoji writing, it's like, it's like, I'll come up with an excuse how busy I've been. And, it's like, and I'll look to reschedule it at that time, but there's just no way, shape or form I'm going to reach out to this gal, for at least 7 to 10 days,
Well, keep in mind that every time you make a post,
Right.
She sees it. She's aware of that you're here. And so ultimately, when you reconnect, remember, sometimes it's all about following up. Sometimes it takes a fifth, a sixth, a seventh contact before you ultimately close them. But at the end of the day, I mean, you've got this down. And as you bring new people into the business, you're absolutely right. You just have to slow them down a little bit and emphasize, use this analogy. If it was going to cost you $50 to talk to someone about your business, don't be so quick to do it.
Well, it's like, I mean, everybody's got this attitude, I'm looking to get somebody, it's like, and you're kind of talking, it's, I mean, you really got to take the attitude that, hey, we've got the gold, it's like, I mean, it's not like we're trying to get anybody. We're looking to qualify candidates that we feel would be a good fit for us. And when we're looking for candidates and we're being selective, people want something that's hard to get. It's like, I mean, so, jumping on people with the go for no. And I read the book, and not gonna lie, it's like, I mean, it's like, I was a big fan of it, but what you're saying here, it's like, it's absolutely true. Instead of sitting blasting out messages, it's just dumb.
Remember, you're not looking to sell something. You're looking for opportunities to sell something. That's the big difference. Going for no, go for yes. Have a conversation with somebody. Is there an opportunity to talk to them, qualify them, discover what they need? You'll talk to fewer people, but you'll all close more sales. And that's what it's all about. Folks, we'll be back at 4 o'clock this afternoon for some more of these. Until next time, best of luck in building your business. And Todd, keep up the good work.